By the time you see that wrinkle forming, the cellular scaffolding underneath has already collapsed. Your lotions cannot reach it. That dull, grayish cast staring back at you in the mirror, the one that returns no matter how expensive the cream, is not a surface problem. It is a structural failure, and you have been treating the paint while the foundation crumbles. Try this right now. Pinch the skin on the back of your hand. Count how many seconds it takes to flatten completely. If it takes more than 2 seconds, you are watching the right video. That delayed snapback is not aging. It is scaffolding that has lost its tension. Rebar that has begun to rust. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, the journal your doctor reads, not the magazine in the waiting room, identified a direct correlation between one specific compound and visible skin structure. Higher intake of this compound meant significantly reduced wrinkling and dryness. Not because it moisturized the surface, because it neutralized the corrosive agents eating through the foundation 3 layers deep. There is a single nut, just 1 or 2 a day, that creates an invisible UV shield beneath your skin. It does not block the sun from the outside. It protects the scaffolding from the inside. But before I can show you what it is, you need to understand what it is protecting you from. Here is what the $180 billion skincare industry does not want you to understand. That expensive serum you are applying is fighting a battle in the wrong zip code. The war is happening 3 layers deeper. Let me show you where. The enemy has a clinical name, oxidative stress. But think of it as internal rust. Your skin is not fabric. It is architecture. Collagen fibers form the scaffolding, the framework that keeps everything lifted, tight, structured. And right now, that framework is corroding. Here is the mechanism. Every time ultraviolet light hits your face, every time pollution settles on your skin, it triggers a chemical cascade. Free radicals form. These are molecules missing an electron. And molecules missing electrons are desperate. They steal electrons from whatever is closest. Your cell membranes, your lipid barriers, your collagen strands. This is not metaphor. This is chemistry. The stolen electron destabilizes the next molecule, which steals from the next. A chain reaction. Lipid peroxidation. Your protective barriers oxidize. They harden. They crack. And the scaffolding beneath them, the collagen that gives your skin its architecture, begins to corrode like rebar in a crumbling building. Every single day, UV exposure triggers over 100,000 oxidative events in your facial skin cells alone. Your body neutralizes most of them, but most is not all. And the damage accumulates. Now you understand why your dermatologist recommends retinol and sunscreen. They are not wrong, but they have 15 minutes with you. They do not have time to explain that sunscreen blocks the attack while something else repairs the damage that gets through. They treat the epidermis, the dead outer layer you can touch. But the dermis, the living foundation where collagen lives, is burning beneath it. This is why lotions fail. They sit on the surface. They cannot penetrate to the layer where the rust is spreading. You are painting over corrosion. The structure weakens anyway. Here is where most people make a critical mistake. They hear about a compound that fights this. Good instinct. They take it. But they take it alone. Without its partner, nearly half of it passes through unused. The body excretes what it cannot absorb. We will fix that in a moment. The scaffolding is corroding. The rust is spreading. But your body has a rebuild protocol hardwired into every cell. And it activates for less than the cost of your morning coffee. Here is the blueprint. The compound is vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid, not the synthetic version in your multivitamin. The form found in whole food. This is how it disables the rust. Free radicals are missing electrons. Vitamin C donates electrons. It neutralizes the corrosive agent before it can steal from your collagen. But it does something else. Vitamin C is a mandatory cofactor for collagen synthesis. Your body literally cannot build new scaffolding without it. You could have perfect genetics, perfect hydration. Without adequate vitamin C, the construction crew has no materials. The dosage is non-negotiable. 75 to 90 milligrams daily. Let me say that number again. 75 to 90 milligrams. Not grams. milligrams. That is 1 medium orange. 1 cup of strawberries. 1 cup of raw bell pepper. This is not complicated. This is not expensive. This is breakfast. Timing matters. Morning. Before you face UV exposure. Before pollution settles on your skin. You are loading your antioxidant defense before the day and oppose. Assault begins. Preparation matters. Heat destroys the water-soluble bonds. If you cook your peppers, add them at the end. Never boil citrus. Raw or minimally heated. The enzyme survives. The protection holds. Now here is the partnership most people miss. Vitamin C requires iron to absorb properly. Without iron, you excrete nearly half of what you consume. The solution is simple. Pair your vitamin C source with iron-rich foods in the same meal. Spinach, lentils, pumpkin seeds. The iron increases absorption by up to 67%. You stop wasting your investment. You might say you already take a multivitamin with vitamin C. Most multivitamins contain 60 milligrams of synthetic ascorbic acid with 0 absorption cofactors. The dosage is only part of the equation. Timing, form, pairing. These determine whether you absorb 90% or 30%. The pill is not the protocol. Now for the biological sunblock I mentioned. Brazil nuts. 1 or 2 daily. No more. These contain selenium, a trace mineral that forms glutathione peroxidase enzymes. Think of these enzymes as an internal UV shield. They reduce damage from sunlight that penetrates even through sunscreen. The dosage is 55 micrograms. That is 1 to 2 Brazil nuts. Maximum. This mineral is potent. More is not better. If Brazil nuts are not available in your region, substitute sesame seeds or tahini. 1 tablespoon of tahini provides the same enzymatic pathway activation. Grind the seeds into paste. The compound releases. The American Heart Association, yes, heart specialists, confirmed the same mechanism applies to omega-3 fatty acids. 500 milligrams of EPA and DHA weekly. 2 servings of fatty fish. Or 1 can of sardines. These reduce pro-inflammatory cytokines that cause chronic redness, itching, and accelerated visible aging. The Journal of Dermatological Science documented this exact pathway in psoriasis patients. Inflammation down. Skin structure stabilized. Vitamin E maintains the lipid barrier, the waterproof coating that prevents hydration from escaping. Without it, you drink water but your skin leaks. 15 milligrams daily. 23 almonds. Or 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. But here is where well-intentioned people sabotage themselves. They hear zinc is good for skin. They buy a 50 milligram supplement. What they do not know is that high-dose zinc creates a copper deficiency. Copper is required for elastin production. You solve one problem, you create 3 others. Your skin becomes less elastic, more prone to structural failure. If you want zinc for acne, get it from pumpkin seeds, not pills. The same applies to vitamin A supplements. Preformed retinol pills are fat-soluble. They accumulate in the liver. Toxicity causes dry, peeling skin, the exact opposite of your goal. Safer to consume via beta-carotene. Carrots. Sweet potato. Your body converts only what it needs. You now have the protocol, the dosages, the timing. But knowing is not the same as seeing. Let me show you what the next 30 days look like when you execute this correctly. 7 days from now, you catch your reflection unexpectedly. In a store window. In your phone and Oppo's black screen. Something is different. The grayness has lifted. There is warmth underneath. A subtle luminosity that was not there before. Your skin feels hydrated from within. Not coated. This is what cellular repair looks like from the outside. That mirror that worried you at the start of this video. In 30 days, it tells a different story. The dull, tired look was never permanent. It was a symptom, a signal that the construction crew had run out of materials. You have now restocked the supply. But beyond the milligrams and the mechanisms, there is a deeper truth here. Your skin is not a problem to be solved. It is a living organ, and it rebuilds itself from the inside out. Every 27 days you grow an entirely new skin. Starting tomorrow morning, the answer changes. In the next protocol, we dismantle the gut-skin axis, the absorption pathway that determines whether these nutrients reach your dermis or pass through unused. 90% of people have one bacterial imbalance that blocks the entire system. Your mirror is waiting.